In this video, we're going to do Trail 10. Well, we're going to explore a little bit down the road, and then we're going to go to Trail 10, and I'll show you a little bit of the spicier side of Trail 10. This is going to be a two-part. I was going to do the whole loop. It's on the map, but the video just got way too long. So this shows us leaving where the blue X is, going across I-75, down that little yellow, and then down to the gas station, and then back over past those little squigglies to where we turn left. And that's where this video is going to end. So hope you enjoy it, and please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. At the top where the blue X is and the arrow is where we're starting and leaving our camp. We'll go down, we'll cross I-75, and then this video will go all the way down till you see where we turn down at the bottom where the arrow is. So stay tuned, hope you enjoy.
Not that bad.
Well, then take your clothes off.
No, but I'm saying it's doable. It's
Yeah.
warm up in here.
Okay, let me just say it was November 1st, and it was the touch on the chilly side, and we're from Florida, so if it's below like 55 or
We're gonna
60,
go down the road mainly.
Vic's going to complain about the cold, and it was probably 40 degrees, so he was not having it
We're
with
gonna
the
cross
cold.
over to the other side.
Okay, to the right is the exit
That
for the
should be
campground,
back
and to the
trail.
left is the entrance, so we're going out the entrance. And I mentioned this in one video. If you're coming in to stay at the ridges, call and get your site and pull on in, because if you go down to the cabin at the campground and check in, there's no place to turn around, and you can't come back in the entrance. You'd have to come in the exit, which is what we did with our camper. Or at least if you have a big rig. If you had a smaller camper, you could probably make that turn, but with a big rig, there's no way. Pulling a trailer in our 45 foot, there is absolutely no way we could have made that turn coming from the opposite direction. So, call and get your site number. Don't do what we did. Call and get your site number and pull into the ridges, and then you can go down to the camp store and check in. So, just something everybody else told us they did that I didn't know. Didn't think about, really.
And we're gonna cross under the interstate.
Vic wasn't seeing my vision of where I wanted to go, and it didn't turn out quite the way I had anticipated it. But I'm going to show you the driveways in case we got across and we couldn't decide how to get to the trails over there. So I put a map at the beginning so you can kind of see we're heading towards the interstate, and I'm going to cross under it and then try to find our way from there, which kind of fails miserably, but you can see what we did. Once we got about here, we were thinking, oh, this is going to be good. At least it's like a dirt road, so we don't feel like we're doing something we shouldn't. It's seeming like a road that we should be on, and yeah, that doesn't last. We weren't sure where we could ride. We weren't sure the rules. So we go a little ways. We were trying to get over. There's supposed to be a restaurant over there. I can't remember the name of it right now, but where you can go and you can get like fried bologna sandwiches or whatever, a little country store. And that was my ultimate goal that we did not make it to. So I know there's a way, we just couldn't figure it out.
On my knees at the edge by the sea, promised you love ain't just a thing made of a broken wrecking ball. And we drive right into the sun.
Here's about where we started questioning. We were coming up on Highway 63, which if you look at the map, I highlighted the route we've taken so far. And we weren't sure we were allowed to be on Highway 63. So, you start questioning when you don't know the rules of the area, what you should do and what you shouldn't and what you're allowed and not. So we decided ultimately to go down Highway 63 until we could get on Old Highway 63, which looked like that would be a reasonable option. So this is Highway 63, and it just didn't feel like something we should be on, or we weren't sure if we should be on it. But we did go down it for a little ways till we could find Old Highway 63, which looked more reasonable for something we would be comfortable riding on.
Driving right into the sun. And sun was round the corner.
So here's Old Highway 63. So, it's an old road. Didn't figure we'd get much trouble for riding down this, so we took it.
Heading back to what used to be home, passing by those little towns I know so well, stopping for gas and then I'm behind the wheel again. Driving this like a spiritual cleanse, where every mile is a new beginning and every bend holds a new end. Eyes on the road, don't lose control. I'm speeding fast to chase my soul. I'm driving to get away, running through emotions high and low.
About here is where we started to go, okay, it's taking us back on Highway 63, which we don't feel like we should be on. And this is the map we're following, and this is the intent. Here's the map of what we intended to do, which shows it going to another road that we could have taken over that would have got us to where we wanted to be. But, we pulled up, and at the time, we couldn't figure out what we missed. But I'm looking at Google Maps now, and I kind of think I see what we did wrong. So we turned off somehow onto a little road called, I think it's Titus Hollow Road, and I don't know quite how we got on it, but that took us right back over to 63, and we didn't stay on Old Tennessee 63, so it's taking us back to the Highway 63 road. So I'm not sure. At that point, we just surrendered and said we'll go back and take Trail 10. We hadn't done that, and we wanted to do that anyway. So here we turn around and head back to Trail 10.
Did I get caught? The walls are caving in. How come I got lost in this endless spin?
I'm still not sure how we got on the wrong road because I used the GPS. I was using Lifetime Maps. I also have Polaris Ride Command that I turn on and Onyx, and yet I somehow still managed to get on the wrong road, and I don't quite know how that happens. I think some of the time it's because we're losing satellite signal and it's just going on what's stored. Maybe, I'm not sure. I just know we couldn't find what I was trying to find. So, it happens even with all of and I had the paper map as well, which doesn't really help you with that. But, so I'm not sure how we got on the wrong road and how we got off, but we managed to somehow, and I don't see another turn off there. So even looking at the video, I don't see where we went wrong. So who knows? I'm sure there was something we just missed. And if you're familiar with the area, if you ride there, leave a comment. Tell us, could we ride on 63? Was that something we weren't supposed to? And what did I miss on finding the right road? Um, yeah, just let me know.
Lost again, going back around, dreaming of a time when I get things right. Lost in the shadows of a million stars. Shouldn't they enlighten my near and far? Shouldn't they at all just tell me where you are?
Here we're heading back. We're almost to the interstate, so we'll kind of cross over that and go back, and we're going to take Trail 10, which is just as soon as you get on Stinking Creek Road, off of the interstate. Trail 10 is right there, so we're going to take that one for our alternate route. Always good to have a plan B, because you just never know when plan A doesn't work. So here we're back on Stinking Creek Road, which is really convenient to get to, because to get to the campgrounds, you're right off the interstate. So it was a great place to stay. We're turning here on Trail 10, and this one gets a little spicy in areas. It was a lot rutted, some mud. We took it over and took down towards the interstate again. There's a restaurant or a shop and go down there. We just kind of rode down it to see what it was, because I know people stay in the hotels there and then drive across. So we kind of rode down there, and then we finished out Trail 10, heading over to Top of the World. So this is a little bit of Trail 10. I'll show you some of the ruddy parts of it. But I will say, everybody always shows you the worst parts, but there was ways to get around it. There was some of it that was way too deep of ruts that we don't have a lift and big tires. So we would have got stuck in those ruts. But there was ways around it, so it wasn't that big a deal. You just have to pick your path carefully. Had to stop a couple times and look, but we were able to do that. This was a really fun trail. Like I said, most of the road was good. There are a few spicy spots, but it was a fun trail, and we really enjoyed Trail 10. It was a great trail. The map shows 3 levels. It shows a easy, a moderate, and a difficult, and this one is listed as a moderate, and that's probably fair. It wasn't over the top crazy. But you did have to pick your paths in some areas. Another thing to note is this was November 1st when we were there, so it was cold. It was cool. It had warmed up by now, and we were shedding jackets because it was warming up quick. But if it was rainy, these roads do get slick. Some of the other trails we were on wet days, and they can get slick. And of course, if there was ice and snow, that would make this a whole nother level of difficulty. But on a nice good day like today, when the roads aren't too wet, and it wasn't a bad trail. Like I said, we did have to pick our paths in a few choices, but it wasn't a bad trail. We really enjoyed this trail. There was a little bit of steep, and there were, like I said, some mud and rocks, but overall, just pick your path. I'm going to leave a chunk of this riding in, just so you can see. This was a beautiful trail ride. Give you some great views, especially if you were there right when the leaves were changing. The views were incredible, even though we're late in the season. It was beautiful drive up through there. There are several roads off of it you can take. We were really trying to stay on 10, other than when we turn off to go down to where the shopping go was, just to see that. But Trail 10 is a beautiful trail. The drive around there, you had some great views, and while it is listed as moderate, there's not anything that I thought was very difficult, other than you'll see a few areas where it gets a little bit muddy, and we're having to pick our paths. But you know, that's why the other people were probably coming from the hotel and going the other way. But there was certainly not anything that was insurmountable, because we didn't, and we try not to do anything, over the top dangerous. But this is a beautiful drive. Here, there's a little incline. The video doesn't really show inclines and all, but it's rock base. If it was wet, it would probably have been a little slick, but not bad. There's it's a little bouncy. There's some rocks, but not too bad. But we are coming up on some of the more muddy and difficult sections. So I'm gonna kind of leave some of that, because I wanted you to see some of that it's not all that. Everybody puts in all the really, really bad, but most of the road isn't bad. It's just a few sections that were pretty, you had to pick carefully. Like I said, overall, a beautiful drive. The one thing I will say out here at Ride Royal Blue is we just didn't see any wildlife. I'm sure there's the elk viewing area, so I'm sure there's elk out there. We just didn't see anything. We did see a coyote one day, and I missed it on my camera. My camera had stopped for some reason. But here's a little bit where it's a little unlevel. It's off kilter. It's a little rocky, but nothing too bad. So, and then we're coming up on some of the mud. But like I said, we don't see any animals, any elk or anything. But still a beautiful drive there.
Wouldn't lie to you. Doesn't matter what I do.
It was also hunting season, so you had to wear orange vests, or you were supposed to wear orange vests if you were outside of your vehicle. And that may have been part of the reason we didn't see any animals, because they were probably running for their life, literally.
Beating when my headlights shining on her. She's my country girl. I couldn't tell you what she's doing with me. She's so damn out of my league. She's a little bit crazy on the weekends, dancing in her red dress.
Here you can start to see that it's a little bit rougher. We're kind of picking our path, picking our trails. To the left, it was really, really muddy, really, really deep ruts. So, but there was a trail around that. So here we're kind of just picking our way through. Nothing horrible, but just kind of picking our way through. I will say, with it being hunting season, you do have to be a little bit cautious. We did see quite a few hunters out there. So definitely something to be aware of and pay attention to if you're there. Here's another place where we're kind of picking our path. You don't really know till you get in there. You look at one and then you look at the other, and you kind of make your best guess. And we were just trying not to get hung up in the ruts. So this is one of the areas where people talk about it really, really deep ruts, and there are, but we didn't have any problem finding our way around it. So it was like I said, overall a beautiful day and a beautiful drive. We really enjoyed this trail. And and it's a nice long trail if you take it all the way back around. So it was a good day, and it warmed up so we didn't freeze to death, which was, when we were starting out this morning, was a real concern because we don't do cold weather.
Home coming home long and lost and I'm found. Your hand, my hand, a burning desire. Sad smile, sad eyes, leaving behind.
And right here, they put a tree right inconveniently in the middle of the road. So, pick your side carefully. You can see where they bulldozed or some trees that fell over and they pushed them out. Like I said, it's a little rough through here, but fun. Definitely fun.
Here, I want more out of life. The longer we stay here, our boots get stuck in the mud. Let's pack up a life, baby, and call it a night. 'Cause the longer we stay here, the harder the fight. I said, hey, call it a start by leaving behind what's breaking our hearts. I said, hey, follow the spark. Ain't nothing but a one way. We won't regret this. Let's kiss the past goodbye. I'm longing to live this free life. I've been here.
We're coming up on the turnoff that takes you down to the shop and go, down back to I-75. So we're just going to take a little detour and see what's down there.
What you might get. I said, hey, call it a start by leaving behind what's breaking our hearts. I said, hey, follow the spark. Ain't nothing but a one way. Ain't no worries, ain't no worries. Don't you worry about a thing. Don't you? Oh, 'cause as long as we're together, home can be a
There's a little side road here that goes up to their water plant. Fair warning, there are video cameras and all there, so if you don't want to hang out there, it's probably kind of against the rules. So we turned around and went back down and go on down towards shopping area. You can get a pretty good view of what's down there from this road. Great view, and we just went down briefly, looked, and come back. So here's what we found. One other thing to note, while there is fuel at Royal Blue's main campground there, the prices are rather steep. So if you're looking for fuel, this would be a great place to go down and fuel up. We didn't think about it when we were there, but that would have been a really good place to get some fuel. It would have been a lot cheaper than getting it at the campground. I'm gonna skip the drive back up since you've seen it, and we'll continue on Trail 10.
If you feel that life is passing you by, if each day that follows is one and the same, if all you need is someone to take the time, don't go looking, babe, here I am. Now if you want a real good friend, or if you need some sweet loving, or if you're looking for someone who won't pretend, don't go looking, babe, here I am. Why just crawl when you could be flying? Life's just a flash, forever dying. The shortest space between hell and goodbye. There ain't no use to sit around crying for all I know. So if you look at life like from a side, when chances they all keep sliding away, there's just one thing to remember, though it's hard, no matter where you go, babe, there you are. Why just crawl when you could be flying? Life is just a flash, forever dying. The shortest space between hell and goodbye. There ain't no use to sit around crying when we are all you've been trying to find. No need looking, babe, here I am. No more.
It's kind of hard to see on the video, but you can see it's a lot more rocky and a lot more off camber. We're starting to see more ruts and kind of having to pick our path a little more. And you'll see that more as we come up to the next section. Like right here, you can see it. You're having to really avoid the real deep ruts. And then we'll come up on some more that are pretty, you just have to pick your path. It was not anything that we couldn't get around, but some of the ruts were so deep that there's no way we could have done them. If we fell in them, we would have just been, high-sided and just spinning our wheels. So we were really having to make sure we avoided some of those really deep ruts. Because remember, this is a hunting area also, and you do have pickup trucks and Jeeps and other vehicles that come up here that have a lot, bigger wheelbase. So, it's just a matter of picking your path. A couple times we had to stop and get out and walk around to find the right way. But you just take your time and look and make sure you don't do anything outside your comfort level, especially with us riding by ourselves. It's really important that we don't do something stupid and have to walk. So, or get hurt either. So, and there's not always good cell service out there. So you just want to be really careful. But it's certainly not anything that I would have thought that I thought was really horrible. Here, Vic's out deciding what route he's going to take. He before he committed, he wanted to make sure he wanted to commit to it. So it looks like he's made a decision, and you can see it's still cold. He's still wearing his flannel, um, but it's definitely warmed up than what it was this morning. We had a bunch of different options for trails that other people had already taken when they decided that the main route wasn't going to work for them. So we just stayed on one of their already chosen routes, and didn't really have any problems. Like, a few of them were a little steep, a few of them were a little rocky, but nothing that bad.
Free to open up when the moment's right. Across your face, it is written across your face. If you wanna go out, we can go out. You can hide away just for one night. But if you wanna cry, just let it out. I'm by your side now. Just hold on.
We are always very careful to make our own rides. Just because somebody else does something doesn't mean that we have to do it. So if we're following somebody, we'll watch what they do, and then we'll make our decision if that's what we want to do or not. So it's important to ride your own ride. Don't get so caught up that you have to follow and do what you're comfortable with. And that's something we're very careful with. Like I said, especially riding by ourselves. There's tons of trails out there, and we're not going to do something that we think is going to get us in trouble. I mean, it can still happen. You can still make a bad choice, but you should always be conscious about, if you're by yourself, especially, but, ride your own ride and make sure that you're comfortable with what you're doing. Know your machine, know its capabilities and your own capabilities. We're always very conscious of that.
Just let it out. I'm by your side now. Just hold on a bit more, 'cause I know you only see the rain, not the rainbow. Deep down, I know you're strong. Give them hell, baby, prove them wrong. Just hold on a bit more, 'cause I know you only see the rain, not the rainbow. I know you'll get up again. Better stand up tall. I know you can be brave, 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 brave. I know you can be brave, 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 brave. If you wanna go out, we can go out. Brave, brave, brave. We can hide away just for one night. Brave, brave, brave. Just hold on a bit more, 'cause I know you only see the rain, not the rainbow. Deep down, I know you're strong. Give them hell, baby, prove them wrong. Just hold on a bit more, 'cause I know you only see the rain, not the rainbow. I know you'll get up again. Better stand up tall. I know you can be brave, 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 brave. I know you can be brave, 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 brave. Brave, 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 brave. Brave, brave, brave.
I think this is the section that was the worst of what we found, and you can see to the left just how deep those ruts are. We're having to be very careful not to get drawn into them, and that was probably the worst, and where we had to really be careful picking our path, because you'll see we're coming up and having to kind of pick through some more. Um, like I said, nothing insurmountable. You just had to really be careful in picking your paths. Like, that's probably the worst of it. But there are some muddy spots too, and especially if it rained. If it was really wet there, these would have been really slick, and that would have made this way more complicated. You can see a little bit of rain. We did have a rain a couple of days earlier, but if it was ice or rain, it definitely would be a lot slicker, and you'd have to be a lot more careful.
I have a thing for darkness, but you can see with your mind. Even when I have my doubts, you say your love isn't blind. So I can give you shelter, but am I a part of your goals? Maybe none of it matters, 'cause I don't want to let go. I never meant to break a promise. I never meant to run away. But you know how to skip the madness, and I can only press replay whatever you see in me. I see times 1,000 in you.
I'm going to end this video right here. This is where we're coming up on where we make the turn, and we're going to continue the loop that is shown on the map in the beginning. I'll do that, the rest of that in the next video. I just, and I'll name it this part 1 and that one part 2 or something, Trail 10 part 1 and 2. But this one's getting pretty long, so it's about time to end it here. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you think, what you want to see in the future. Like I said, we've got lots of plans for the future, so stay tuned. We've come to the fork in the road.